Well, good evening, everyone. Keith Johnson, CPA here for your business beat on Friday, uh, June 25th, 2021. Just want to give a shout out, happy birthday shout out, actually, to a friend of mine, Joanne. Um, she is celebrating her birthday today. And just a little inside joke. Happy birthday, youngin'. Anyway, wanted to give you some updates on some stuff that is going on. First thing is the infrastructure bill was announced early yesterday morning. And I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday, but basically, what this is, it's a bipartisan agreement with about 20, 21 senators from both parties, pretty much evenly split. And what they did was they came up with a 973 billion, excuse me, billion. Well, it seems like a trillion $1 billion spending plan over the next few years. Now, the problem is, I probably spent over a half hour of research trying to tie the numbers out. The all of the major reports have it at 579 billion of infrastructure spending. Out of that 579, 312 go to transportation infrastructure, roads, bridges, public transit, all airports, all of that. And then 266 odd billion is for other infrastructure, such as our water supply, our electrical grid, water storage out west, um, and global warming resilience. Okay, I studied this for probably about 45 minutes. And I was trying, and I searched a lot of places trying to figure out how we got from 579 billion to 973 billion. 579 billion is for probably the next 5 years, and the 973 is supposed to take it to 8 years out. But I don't know how they got the 400 odd $1 billion extra. I have no idea where that goes, and that's kind of a little concerning to me. You would think everybody would be upfront about the money, is how that's being spent. Um, Now, apparently, though, it has a very rocky road ahead. Basically, Biden said that uh, he's not going to separate the infrastructure bill from the budget. And what that means is that they want to spend about $4 to $5 trillion on the fiscal. Well, actually, I take that back. It's closer to 6 trillion on the fiscal 2022 budget, which goes into effect October 1st. Now, Democrats want to uh, put this out as a budget reconciling item, which means that they can ram it through Congress without having to go through a 60 Senate vote majority. Problem is, they don't have 60 votes, so they're trying to ram it in with just a simple majority. Now, of course, the Democrats have a 50-50 split, but have the tie-breaking vote in Harris. So there's, whether they can pass it or not is going to be very, very tenuous, because one vote by Senator Manchin of West Virginia, or Senator Sinema from Arizona, or another moderate senator could and will save the bill, as long as the Republicans are unified. Well, Biden was on record saying today that he is not going to sign the infrastructure bill unless it were tied in with the budget. So this is not a final deal. Now, for the infrastructure bill, how is it going to be paid for? Well, I think basically they're going to look at from what the research is, the vast majority of it is the hope that the IRS can collect a lot more tax revenue through increased enforcement. Well, the problem with that is that in the very short term, they won't be able to do that because the IRS has been underfunded for close to 25 years now, based on technology underfunding and personnel underfunding. So what they're going to have to do in order to do this, they will have to ramp up spending, probably, let's say, put $5 billion at least into the IRS. And even then, it's going to take at least a year to hire and train the agents, and probably about 3 years to upgrade the equipment. We've talked about this before. Now, they are going to shift money around, leftover money from the virus funding, but they're not going to raise the federal gas tax. They're not going to raise the electrical vehicle charging use tax. And then also, they're not going to raise the corporate tax either. So I just don't know how they are going to realistically pay for this, because just knowing that the IRS is not going to be able to collect that much more money to put a dent in it as of right now. So I'm very skeptical about it. And the more I read about this infrastructure bill, the less I like about it. I just think they are trying to hide a lot. Now, in another thing, and I was reading this today, is Washington State, where my birth mom lives, is passed a law to require all employees to start paying into a fund to fund long-term care insurance. Now, I'll be the first to tell you that long-term care insurance is a vital part of your retirement plan. Long-term care insurance protects your assets in the event that you need skilled nursing care, assisted living, things like that in your final days. However, I have it, but let's put it this way, I was in the right place at the right time. And I have a wonderful policy for pretty low expense. Generally, you want to get the policy sooner rather than later, because premiums go up substantially as you age. However, what Washington State's doing is they are going to impose, whether an employee likes it or not, or whether they approve it or not, they're going to collect 58 cents for every $1,000 of salary income. Now, this doesn't apply to self-employed taxpayers, but if you are, let's say you work for Microsoft up in Seattle, okay, and let's say you make $100 or 100,000, excuse me. Well, that means you're going to pay $580 into a fund, whether you like it or not. Now, they are going to start, now it starts January 1st of 2022. The rate will be 0.58% for the first 2 years, and then they'll adjust it, but 0.58 is the max they can go. But it also attaches to your holiday pay, paid days off, severance pay, anything like that. There is no cap. So let's say you make $1 million a year. So you're going to pay $5,800 of that to this fund. Now, what are you going to get for this fund? Okay. Well, first off, you get a maximum benefit of $100 a day. All right, that's pretty crappy right now. I would say, just a bare bones policy is about $250 a day, and that's about what's going to cover a cost of a semi-comfortable living arrangement. $100 a day in long-term care is not going to get you far. I keep track of this stuff. It really isn't. You have a maximum lifetime benefit of $36,500, i.e., this pays for a year of coverage at $100 a day. Okay, so let's say you are in an assisted living facility for a year. Okay, then your benefits get cut off. Okay, it's a bare bones policy. It's not worth it. And if you are, and there is a pre-existing condition clause. So in other words, they could turn you down if, as of January 1st of 2022, you have a condition that leads to you needing assisted living. So basically, it's a piece of crap. Now, in other words, now the thing is, here's another thing: you can't pay it. The policies won't come into effect until 2025. So in other words, what that means is you're going to be paying this into this for at least 3 years. Nobody's going to be using this for until 2025. Okay, and then also once this is fully up, you will have had to pay into the system for 10 years. And there's some benefit, exceptions and all, but by and large, you have to have been working at least 500 hours a year for the first 3 to 5 years. Now, you can opt out. You have to file a waiver request between October 1st of 2021 and December 31st of 2022. It is an irrevocable thing, but then again, it's not, the policies are really not worth it. You can do much better on the private sector. And at least you have the choice to get it. So, however, if you do have it, you must have other long-term care insurance. So, if you are in Washington State and we're not authorized to sell insurance in Washington State, this wouldn't fly in Florida, so that's fine with us. I would just advise you to find long-term care insurance and opt out. See, here's the problem. Let's say you earn $50,000. Okay, well, that means you got to pay $290 per year. Well, let's say you want to have a couple of children. You're a single mom or something like that, or you could probably make less than that. Well, that money, even though it's 0.58%, basically you're taking away over half of 1% of your income for something that you probably, it's not really going to work for you. I mean, I'm not saying long-term care insurance is critical, but at these stipulations, it's going to affect people's ability to provide for kids at some point. So generally, the younger you are, the more you are screwed. You can't opt out if you are, say, in high school right now. Let's say you're 16 and you want to opt out, if you're not 18 before the end of the opt-out period, then you won't be able to opt out unless your parents buy insurance for you. Now, here's another thing. Employers don't have to advise you of it. Now, if you have a good employer that's really upfront and honest, they'll advise you, they'll notify you of the program, but they don't have to do it. So, I mean, this is just, the whole thing is just, and this is why people are moving into places like Florida and Texas, because of all these onerous government regulations. So, now, like I said, I agree with the need for long-term care. But what I don't agree with is one, that you're being forced to pay for it against your will, and two, the fact that you really aren't getting what you pay for, because the lifetime maximums are, at best probably about a year's worth of care. Well, what if you need more than that? What do you do? So it's very poor planning, and I'm totally against it. So anyway, what else happened? Of course, we had the Derek Chauvin decision, and that was I'm going to pass on that. It really doesn't have much economic. Of course, if we see cities get burned tomorrow or whatever, I might have more of an opinion on that. But let's see how that plays out. And then very tragic down in Miami, and I've been following this fairly closely, is a 12-story condominium in Miami Beach collapsed, or a good chunk of it collapsed. And at this time, we still have 4 confirmed dead and 159 that are not accounted for. So I am just, and I think many millions of people around the country are thinking and praying for them, and dreading that they'll wake up either tomorrow morning or Sunday morning and finding the death toll is, into the hundreds. And so, our hopes and prayers, our thoughts and prayers are definitely going out to all of those people. Let's see. And the last thing, just want to get a quick update. Stock market did climb today. Not bad. About about 8-10%, 0.75%. Went up to 237 points today. Getting back close to a record. And let's see. It looks like, and then also, I think the last thing really worth discussing is key inflation indicator posts the biggest gain in 3 decades. So it looks like, I think it's the personal consumption expenditure index went up 3.4%, which is the fastest since April of '92. So bottom line is inflation is going to be pretty strong for the next couple of years, I think. And I mean, it's going to stabilize, I think, but it's not going to be it's not going to be pretty. So anyway, I will keep you posted. I'll keep looking at stuff and letting you know tomorrow. Tomorrow, first thing in the morning, I'm running a 5K in Ponte Vedra Beach, and hopefully that will go well. And other than that, I will talk to you all tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.